Okay, so we are recording right now. Okay, let's go ahead and let people in.
Yep, I think we've got everybody in now.
Everybody's in. Okay, great. Perfect. Hi, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm Jennifer Norman, along with Pip, who's also on the call. We're both directors for summer semester. And I think we've got some other people that are on the call as well, with Rohana working as a program assistant, and then Jennifer Bernardo is also working on as a program assistant. So we're just kind of getting set up here. So as we're just kind of letting people into the waiting room, or letting them in from the waiting room, we just got a share in the chat question. So are you a coffee, tea, or a water person? And go ahead and take just a second and take your time just to figure out which kind of person you are. And well, kind of as people are like drifting in here, started a few minutes early. We also have quite a few people on vacation this week, and so we are recording the phone call. So that's probably a message that popped up, just to let you know that we are recording. So thanks for participating in that share the chat. We got quite a few coffee lovers and quite a few tea lovers as well. So be happy to know we're in Nespresso coffee this year. So hopefully, and some teas available for you. All right, I just want to value your time here. And so what we've got going on is kind of similar to the last meeting that we had. And so if I can just direct your eyes to the last column there, where we're actually talking about the process. So we really want to talk about some introductions. We want to take a look at what the first day arrival is going to look like. Just briefly go over schedules again. You did get quite the detailed email yesterday. Talk about lunch procedures, because it is going to be a little bit different. What the first day, particularly on Monday, is going to look like for dismissal, and then save some time afterwards for your questions and answers that possibly are still are lingering, hopefully, so that we can all be successful on that first day. Here's your summer semester leadership team. We're going to house ourselves. We're already here in the elementary school B foyer. You'll see us all sitting here at tables. You'll visit us if you have anything that you need. First point of contact in the morning. And then if you do make some purchases that you do need to be reimbursed for, do make sure that you're seeing Jennifer Bernardo, but she does have a tray that's set up here on her desk. And you can go ahead and just start dropping those receipts in her box that she has set up. But for the most part, if you need anything, we are going to be here, and we're just going to be easy to spot. The only person that might not be down here is Marlo. Marlo is going to be our technology leader. He's going to be up in P303, which is directly above us. And so I'll make mention to that a little later on. So here's our contract hours. We're 8:30 to 3:30. We're asking, really take a look at that cluster schedule. We did make some changes on it today, and I'll point those changes out. And then our adult advisory, I call it adult advisory. You can call it a hospitality room, but it is going to begin each morning at 8 a.m. We have found over the last couple of years, specifically with COVID, it's just a really nice time. If you are a morning person and you want to get here early, it's just a really nice time to sit and talk and chat. How's your day going? But just really take the time to get to know people from other divisions. And it's really worked out well. And we'll have a light grab and go breakfast in there. Coffee will be served. And then throughout the day, we actually replenish some snacks that you can go in there and take for your choosing or your liking. hopefully give you quite a variety of choices with some fruit. And obviously we've got to throw in a couple of Oreos there every once in a while. So that's what's going on there in P103. Here's the map or sort of the layout of what arriving is going to look like. So if I just start there on the left-hand side, this is going to be foyer A. We do recognize that there is going to be some mixing back and forth of what we've learned over the years. So we're going to start off this way. If we do need to make some changes, we'll just make some changes. But definitely on the very first day, on Mondays over the next couple of weeks, we are asking all teachers, all DABs, and all IAs to be out for arrival starting at 8:30, specifically on Mondays. Tuesday through Thursday, students start to learn where they're supposed to go. And so we can actually relax on that, where teachers can stay in the classroom. And then DABs and IAs, your schedule is set so that you can be there for arrival, where teachers are going to start straight up at 9 o'clock, where DABs and IAs won't start until like 9:30. So it really does balance itself out. So down there in foyer A, we're asking ELC and lower elementary teachers. We're asking students to enter in there, but that's where the teachers will be. And then for foyer B, you're going to be here for upper elementary, middle school, and high school students. We'll be here in foyer B. Rahana is going to set up signage, and I know I continuously refer to the way we did it last year, but just in case this is your first year, we do have stands where your class name is on there. We just ask you to stand by that stand so that kids that come in, they can identify what their class name is and they can find you very easily. And we'll have those spaced out. We have asked for ELC and lower elementary students to come with their teacher's name and class, either pinned or taped to their shirt. So as you're developing your letters to your parents, it'd be nice, ELC and lower elementary students or elementary teachers, if you could remind them to do that, that would really help us out. We will have one registration person on each lobby on Monday mornings just to help direct traffic to where they need to go. And we already know that there's going to be crossover and people are going to get dropped off at A and they really should be in B. But you know, we'll get that sorted out. Everybody will be on hand for arrival, and we'll try and figure that out. I do want to point out on this map, if we go down to the parking, you can see how things are supposed to flow in. And so security is going to be out in the parking lot. And I don't know if you can see my mouse very well, but right here where elementary B is, I do believe if you are an elementary teacher, this is E6 to E10. That's where car drop off is going to be. And then everything by elementary A is going to be buses. And so security is going to be out there. It's going to be a little different from last year where we had a big sweeping circle. We're going to have 2 drop-off points, one for buses and one for cars. Okay, so that's how arrival is going to look. So these are just some things to keep in mind, that we are going to have the signage out there for the different foyers. We're saying that once classroom teachers have the majority of their students, you can go ahead and take your students up to the classroom. DABs and IAs can linger behind, and we do have people that arrive, you know, between 8:55 and 9:05, and so we'll be able to stay out there and catch some of those stragglers. And then after Monday morning, as kids start to learn where they're supposed to go, especially for the older kids, you know, we can send them off to their class and they can find it. But for the first Monday morning, we are asking everybody to be out there from 8:30 to 9. Okay. Let's see, where are we? Okay, so this is kind of what a sample schedule would start looking like. And I know that the times are off just a little bit, but you can see, and I know you've already had a look at what the clusters are supposed to be. So just go ahead and take a look at that cluster, but there are 3 teachers in a cluster. There's a DAB person, a daily activity block person that's assigned to those 3 teachers. We've really put some thought into some consideration just to make sure that the DAB is located fairly close to where those 3 teachers are located. In some cases, it didn't work out just based on what classrooms are available to us. And then we do have an instructional assistant assigned to those clusters of teachers. And then everybody, for equity purposes, everybody's fairly teaching the same amount and the same amount of time with the same amount of lunch. So the only changes that I've kind of made is you can see that, well, actually it's not showing up on this screen, but you'll be able to see it on the new one. And so you'll see that we've got the DABs and the IAs and everybody separated. So if I can just move forward, here's what lunch is going to look like. And I'm going to go ahead and just bring most of this up right now. But ELC students are going to eat in their classrooms where everybody else is going to eat in the middle school cafeteria. So we're asking teachers to escort the students to lunch, allow some time for hand washing. So in your area, there's probably a bathroom, but there also is a hand washing station in the middle school cafeteria. And then once the students are seated, teachers, you're free to go and enjoy your lunch, and the leadership team will be down there for lunch duty, along with some designated IAs in which to help. So IAs, we've got the cluster IAs we've got scheduled to help with lunch prep. And that lunch prep is going to be getting the pre-ordered lunches at the tables. Then we'll be able to do our lunch duty. And then after that particular part, that's when the IAs will have their designated hour lunch. So all the pre-ordered lunches will be served at the tables, and we will have signage on the different tables by room numbers. So that's how teachers will know which table to sit at. For the halal orders, we're going to set up a separate table closer outside of the cafeteria. So for designated IAs that are part of the cluster team, if you already know which of those students have ordered halals, eventually the first day you're going to have to be looking at the list, but then after that you usually get a sense of how many halal meals you need to have. So you'll look for Rohana, and Rohana will have those meals, and we'll be able to check that off and get that to the designated people or to the designated tables. So that's how we're running lunch this year. Is everybody except for ELC will be eating in the middle school cafeteria. For ELC kids, if you do order halal, again, the IA that's designated to that room, very similar to previous years, they'll be coming up and communicating with Rohana as to how many halal meals you'll need delivered to your classrooms. Okay, this is what the afternoon schedule would look like. Again, cluster of 3 teachers, a DAB is assigned along with a designated IA. And so we've tried to leave those that have cooking classes. We have tried to leave the teacher 3 space open for you because, again, just the data we've collected over the last couple of years, we do know that you need that cleaning time. And so we've really tried to be wary of that and the extra cleaning time that you do need in order to clean up your space and get things cooking and finishing up those particular projects for those days. Okay, this is what dismissal looks like. We will have some announcements, but for ELC and lower elementary kids, we're asking you to start with a 2:50 p.m. dismissal time. So for the classroom teachers or the IAs, you're going to escort those teachers or those students to the bus area, and you'll deliver students to the particular bus that they need to go to. We're asking the parents to park and pick up their child from the classroom. And so they're going to be allowed on campus, they're going to be allowed to park, and then they'll be able to walk to the classroom in order to collect their child. The students that are not.
Can I just noticed that. So that's only for the ELC kids that we've actually asked the parents to go to the classroom. For the lower elementary, then they need to be brought out to the foyers for pickup.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. So ELC and LES, but you would agree that still the dismissal time, we really want them to start prepping at about 2:50 to start walking out of the classroom to get on the bus or to get to the area where they need to be. Okay. And then for upper elementary school, middle school, and high school, your dismissal time is at 3 p.m. We will have closing remarks at the end of the day, and so you will hear the announcements. And we're asking that all DABs and IAs are on bus duty. And I know on the cluster schedule, it says from 3 to 3:30, but we typically let you go as soon as the last bus has left. And then we, as a leadership team, will finish up with anybody that's still waiting for a taxi or anybody that's still waiting for a pickup, is usually how it worked out last year. So, but we do ask you to be on the bus duty with us and help out. Let's see. So we do have a request from one of our colleagues that's teaching week 1. This is from David Lee, and I did send out an email. I posted this in the calendar invite, and then I also posted this on our internal website, but he is looking for suggestions on how his students can solve a problem that's in our own school of SAS. And so the name of his class is Empathetic Creative Problem Solvers. So you did get this email. So if you would take the time to help them out and just offer some suggestions. I know here in our office, Pip gave a really creative suggestion. So I'm hoping you'll take her up on that offer, David. Anyway, if you can help a colleague out, I know he would greatly appreciate it. So here's some just reminders, some things to think about over the next couple of days. Your technology requests have been honored, they've been fulfilled. And so now if you are making a request, just know that it's kind of overdue. It won't be overlooked, but it is overdue. And so we're asking you to start thinking about technology requests for week 2. Even though the clusters have not been created and we're still waiting on kind of finalizing some things, you can get into CHQ. And as long as your class list is over 5, your enrollment is over 5, you know your class is a go. And I would start putting in a request for week 2. Please bring your own tea or coffee mug and your own water bottle. That will help us out tremendously and with some of the costs and obtaining some of those things, but do bring your own coffee or tea mug for Monday. For advisory, we start with our adult advisory. We start our breakfast at 8 a.m., in P103. On our internal website, and I think Pip's going to drop that into the chat, you can pre-order your lunch. So you have 2 options. You can order your lunch through the employee portal with Co's Catering, or there is a link on the internal website to the halal lunch. Week 1 is closed because I think most of you were able to access that. So we did have to turn in our orders. If you did miss the halal lunch, we did order extras. There are a few extras. So, but for right now, we had to turn in the lunch order. And so that has been closed. So we've already posted week 2 on the website. So you can go ahead and start ordering for week 2 if you know you're going to be teaching week 2. Constant reminder is middle school and high school are under construction. So at the central office or the point where M204, along with the central office, is closed down to us. So please don't allow kids to go any further past those points. And then I think what's a nice reminder is our movement on campus is not as restricted as it has been in the last couple of years. And what we are reminding you that masks are required in the classroom. And I know that a question has come up about DAB, because I know that some DABs have been scheduled into some classrooms. Pip, maybe you can speak to that. Since you are on the C4, can you speak to the masks in the classrooms in DAB?
Yeah, I wasn't on the C4, but working with activities. So if you're actually doing active DAB, then they can actually remove their masks.
Okay, perfect. Otherwise, in the confined spaces, the masks need to be worn. And we just ask you to bring your smiles and bring your energy on Monday, because we do have 23 non-SAS families that are going to need our help, our support, our direction. Just, trying to figure out, how we do things here. And it's just nice to be able to welcome them. Some of them are going to be starting with us in the fall, and others are just traveling here to Singapore in order to attend our summer semester. So I just ask that you remind yourself that not everybody sitting in front of you, not every child sitting in front of you is an SAS student this year. So we have welcomed those from outside our perimeter here. And then finally, just the last reminder, we still are in COVID times. And so in closed spaces, we do have to wear masks. So we just ask that you don't post photos on social media. I encourage you to take photos. I encourage you to take videos of the things that are happening in your class, but please don't post them on social media, and please do not put them in parent WhatsApp groups that you may or may not create, because all the photos need to be vetted by comms first. And so on the internal website, there is a place to dump all those photos every single day. And then what happens is the people in communications will look at them. They will filter the videos and the photos back to us in a vetted folder. And then you can go back there and you can look and pick and choose. And then those are the ones that you can post on social media. Okay. Let's see, what else do we got? Okay, canceled classes. Obviously, we still have to talk about this. We did have to cancel 1 or 2 classes for week 2. We've already done that. So we're just waiting for like some re-registrations. As we've canceled 1 class, we're waiting for a few more to fill. And then we're looking at what we need to do for weeks 3 and 4. As soon as those are identified, we can start creating the clusters, cluster assignments. And so I really, really, really appreciate your patience as we've tried to navigate new things. And I know I mentioned this in one of our first meetings, is that we've got more people that have applied this year than we actually have positions for. So we are working through a list, and we're really trying hard to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to work at least 1 week of summer semester. So again, I can't stress enough how appreciative I am of your patience, and I'm just appreciative. How's that? All right, so at this time, I just want to pause and open up the floor for any questions that you may have of us. And I invite Jennifer or Rahana or Pip or myself to jump in and help with fielding some questions if there's any.
Okay, we've got a question from Jill. Is the bus schedule to or from Marceline confirmed? Jill, we'll check on that for you. I believe it actually runs right through because it's a staff bus, but I will double check.
Yeah. Aircon, yes.
Yes, we've got aircon requested.
Yep. Do you believe they're going to turn it on at 8 a.m.? We might be able to slip in a 7:45.
Okay, Erin's asking, thank you for all your help. Just checking that the IAs and DABs will collect and return students from the classroom.
Yes, that is what has typically been done in previous years. So we will make sure that they do know that to do that, yes.
Anybody else? By the way, feel free to actually just unmute yourselves to ask question too, if you don't want to have it. Okay, so Sarah, you're teaching baking class. Okay, for the cooking classes, you need to actually come and check your own space because we don't know what you will need. So if you can come up maybe tomorrow, or yeah, so it would probably have to be tomorrow, and check in the kitchen if you've got everything you need there. And if you don't, we'll see what we can source from around the kitchens. Lovely, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd encourage anybody who needs equipment and they're not sure if it's available, to actually come up and prepare first.
Yeah, I can't guarantee that the campus, that anybody will be around on Saturday or Sunday, and definitely cannot guarantee that there would be aircon on Saturday or Sunday in order to prepare your space. And we are here we get here about 7:30 in the morning, and we're here until approximately this time, 3:30. So stop by anytime. You'll see us in the foyer B side, and we can help open up doors and help you source the equipment. Just know that the math program is going on right now. We've kind of unadvertised this week, called week 0. So we do have 71 students, along with about 8 teachers that are on campus and have been working all week. So we'll do our best to make ourselves available, but just be aware that that program's going on. You may start ordering for week 2, yes, if you can already check and see what your class list, if it's over 5 and you can verify that it is going to be a go class, then yes, you may start ordering for week 2. Hi Liz, no, I don't think the supplies will be delivered here to foyer B. And the rooms, yes, the rooms should be unlocked. They go around, we've given them a list of the room numbers, and they're going to go around and unlock the doors, yes. And are you able to use the props, blocks, books, etc. in the classroom that doesn't belong to us? That's a great question, Sarah. So what we would really ask you to do is take a picture of what the room looks like before. And I know that we're going to go around and take pictures of what the rooms look like before anybody walks in there, so that we can reset the space. So if you are going to use things that are in the classroom, we just ask that you take mental note, take a picture, write it down on a piece of paper, because we're not going to know what you used in that room, and we really, really, really want to replenish whatever is used. So please keep diligent notes on what you do use.
Yes, and if something does happen, then please let us know so that we can actually replace it for that teacher before they return.
Yeah. Alicia, that's a sample letter, and so feel free to change any of the language. But the recess will be outside, unless of course it is raining, but most of the spaces that Rohana has selected for recess are covered. And so, so feel free to change any of the language that's in that parent letter, okay? That is just a sample.
And
Yeah.
Joanna, yes, you can leave your, if you come in and prepare tomorrow, you can absolutely leave your stuff over the weekend.
How do we confirm? Pip and Pip, I should say, has set up CHQ so that every time you send a parent letter, we receive a copy, and I can verify, Matt, that we received a copy of your parent letter.
We did, and Matt, I can show you on Monday. You can actually see who you've sent it to.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Nancy, yes, absolutely. You may come and set up your DAB space. Yes. I feel like I cut somebody off. Sorry.
All right, anybody else? By the way, feel free to start signing off if you've got all the information you need. If you want to stay on and talk to us afterwards, that's absolutely fine too.
We'll pause for that 1 minute of awkward silence. All right, so this is being recorded, and so what we'll do is we'll just post this video link up on the internal website under the weekly announcements. And we really look forward to seeing some of you tomorrow, and if not, then we definitely look forward to seeing you on Monday. And so we wish you nothing but success, and again, just know that we're here and here to support you and here to make sure that you have a successful week. Okay.
I just saw a question about the
Oh.
ELC. So if you are coming into the ELC tomorrow, we need to check first. There is really heavy construction. You'll see when you come in that they've actually removed part of the road down that end of the school. But we will do our best to get somebody to escort you down there.
Mhm.
And Sina, yes, if you are coming in over the weekend, it just probably be courteous to security just to say, hi, I'm gonna be coming in. So security is particularly short-staffed at the moment, so I think they're going to have not much staff available on the weekend. So if you do need a room unlocking and then locking, you might have to account for the fact that they may not be able to do it instantly.
Hey, Pip and Jen, it's Jared here. I sent you guys an email, but let's try and avoid another email for you. I tried to order lunch for week 1 a couple days ago, and it wouldn't let me access the dates for week 1. So I'm not sure what you're going to do. Plus, I don't know if it's different because Matt and I are actually going off campus every day. So I don't know if lunch is being given or whatever. So
Yeah, you've got a unique situation. And so what we're doing is I've ordered your buses. And so we'll confirm those buses tomorrow. I've got a note written here to make sure that the buses are confirmed. And we're gonna do, you've got 15 enrolled plus the 2 adults. So we're gonna do box lunches. And so
Okay,
you'll
good.
be able to take your box lunches with you. And so we'll just make sure, we've been ordering extra meals
Sure.
just for that fact of some people that haven't ordered their meals, but I'm ordering 17 box lunches for you to take. You don't
Okay.
leave until 10:15, so that's plenty of time for us to get down there. But it's
Perfect.
on the list to just verify for tomorrow to make sure you guys
Yeah,
are ready to go.
I won't worry about ordering then. Thanks very much.
Okay,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
all right.
Liz,
See ya.
yes, probably the best place to park at the moment is the ES underground car park behind the EAA office and the PTA. There's going to be no parking on the area out the front of the elementary school, just because we need that space for buses, cars, and some of the DABs. I believe people are parking along the road up towards the middle school and high school.
That's a good question, Erin. Where do we go if it's full? Is that what you just answered? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, friends. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording and everybody have a lovely evening. All right.
Hey, everyone.
Okay.
Exciting times.
Yeah. All right. Oh, it didn't stop. There we go. There we go.